favorite team. It's time to rock and roll.
Hello and welcome to another preview video that we've been doing. This time I'm with the lovely Chris White. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. Good, mate. Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
We're here today to talk about Roller Champions, which you've been playing. I'm really keen to see what this game looks like, and you've been having a bash with it. So it looks very different, mate, to your normal games. I'm really keen to see how you found it.
Yeah, so it was part of a closed beta put on by Ubisoft to basically get to see what Roller Champions plays like. There weren't a lot of modes available, but for me it was the gameplay that was the key thing here, and it is essentially Rocket League on skates, and that is a great thing. Like there's a lot of things that make it feel like Rocket League, but when it comes to like the gameplay, you're essentially racing around a course as many times as you want, but there's certain benefits to doing it more times than others, and you're in teams of 3, and you essentially have to score a goal by throwing a ball into a hole that's hanging kind of like to the right side of the course.
Yeah.
As you go through certain checkpoints around the course in one circular motion, you kind of rack up an additional potential for points. So there are 4 checkpoints. If you race through all 4 checkpoints, you are then able to score or attempt to score, and if you score, you get 1 point. If you go around the course again, like twice, then that moves up to 3 points. If you can make it around the course 3 times without being tackled, then that's 5 points, and that'll essentially win you the game straight away. But it's not as easy as that. Like it's very easy to be tackled. It's simple button press, but if the opposition connects with you, then it kind of resets, and then it's their turn to kind of take over and try and score.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward, but you can like dive out the way. You've got little kind of maneuvers you can do in the air to kind of dash. You can kind of crouch down like little slopes on the track, which pick up your speed. So it's very easy to kind of get to grips with. Very easy to play. Like, the mechanics are dead straightforward. You literally more or less press and pass and shoot, and dodge or tackle. You can like say if. So one of the reasons it reminds me of Rocket League is when like there's a button to focus on the ball in Rocket League.
Yes. Yeah.
There's exactly the same here. So when the ball is dropped, like off at the start of the game, you can press that button and keep an eye on it. And instead of having to go all the way around in one motion, you can then go back on yourself. So you don't have to stick to the same direction all the way around. You can kind of go back and try and tackle. It's what will get you to the ball the quickest route. You kind of have to decide.
Yeah.
But
sure.
it is cool playing with others, and like it's dead kind of straightforward to play, and it's just an easy pick up and play. One of those few titles that exist in that kind of environment, that kind of sports environment. But I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Because that's like, I guess, the appeal of Rocket League. Like, I mean, I've just gone back on a bit of a Rocket League kick with my friends. I'm still rubbish at it, but it is. Yeah. Rocket League's always been that game where it's very intuitive, like you say, like to just pick up and play. But then there's probably nuance to it as you get better and get used to some of the techniques where Rocket League, you end up flying around the map and stuff. And
you're right.
I guess it needs to be that, doesn't it? It needs to be something that anyone can pick up and, I guess, instantly feel comfortable with. But then there has to be, I guess, levels to it later so it doesn't get stale. There has to be a benefit to getting good at it, I suppose. Like,
there is. There is. And there's like saying that you just pass and you just shoot. It's kind of not doing it justice, because like I could pass to someone in front of me and the goal's there. He's passed all the checkpoints and he can shoot. However, I was doing things like launching it all the way down the course past the goal line to someone who was in front of it, but then he can still score from behind the goal into the circle because we've passed all the barriers. So there's different tactics you can use in terms of passing and getting that goal. So there are like nuanced moves that you can do as you play more, and you kind of get to grips with it all. And like it's the same goes for passing. You can make some impressive passes. You can throw off like the glass to score. You can throw off the glass because there's like a glass kind of corridor around the whole of the track.
Yeah.
The ball
it's like a ring, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so,
it's dead pretty as well. Like it's really colourful.
It looks nice. Yeah.
There's different arenas. There'll be more when the game's out. But like the 3 that I got to see were cool. And there's like a skate park, which acts as like a hub for you to play around with your mates. And you can just dick about on the course. But you can also like there's challenges pop up, which everyone on the skate park has to score the most amount of goals to win the challenge and gain fans, which adds to your overall score and level, and you get XP from that, and you can unlock things by spending your in-game currency. So there's a nice little base for it at the minute, although I don't really see much of that. The actual game itself is really quite cool at the minute.
And how easy is it to actually score? Like, is it
really
easy? Because I guess if you've done 5 laps and then you miss, you're going to be a bit annoyed.
You are, yeah. No, it's quite good actually. You've only really got to worry about whether or not you're in the vicinity of the opposition, because you kind of hold down the left trigger to kind of aim, ready a shot, and then you move your right stick to kind of move the kind of cursor over it. But it's not like it's very accurate. Like you don't feel like you're being kind of thrown under the bus. You've got plenty of time to shoot, and it all kind of queues up quite naturally. And scoring, I don't think I ever missed, and that's not because I'm amazing at it. I just think the game they don't want you to kind of fail, because you are having to go through a lot of like trials when you are doing like 3 laps of it, because the most difficult thing is trying to evade the opposition, because
that's why
as I say, it's dead easy to foul. So you are punished when you shoot. You know, it's practically 100% success rate in the games I played. So I'm sure that'll be the same for many people. But it's just, I think it's about how the game builds following launch and trying to keep those people playing, because unless they do not add anything, I feel it will grow a bit stale. But I mean, what's in place at the minute, I feel that they've got a good base to kind of build upon and create like a quick and easy 3-player game. Because it will be cool to go and play with your mates. It's just a case of whether it kind of continues to add and like improve certain elements of it that aren't quite right yet, which they're more than likely to do, because Ubisoft have got form for that.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it obviously I was constantly referring to Rocket League, but it's probably the best in class for this kind of genre, if it's actually big enough for a genre. But, obviously Psyonix, like they did add to it. They're always adding to it, whether it's just cosmetics or actual different modes and things that you can play on to kind of expand what was originally the core experience. I guess that's what's kept players going back year after year. So I guess that's what you'd hope for, is like a roadmap. I think so.
Just like as we do this video now, they've just released the Year of the Ox season in Rocket League. And it's silly, but they add things that relate to that season. That's kind of what I like. That's what I like about these games, is that they can keep players coming back because they keep adding to it, and it doesn't kind of get forgotten about. I don't want it to become one of these games where it's out for a year and then no one bothers with it, and it was actually a good game. It's just there are other games out there doing it better, like with Bleeding Edge. We've got Overwatch, we've got Apex Legends that are doing it a lot better. So I just don't want it to kind of get forgotten about. But I think the core gameplay of Roller Champions is where it will succeed, and I just hope that the kind of momentum carries on and people will actually give it a go when it releases.
Cool. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to cover in terms of, obviously we talked about how it looks and the gameplay? I guess, did you have any performance issues?
No performance issues. It was nice and smooth on PC. All in all, like, there's not a lot to say about it at this point. The modes that we'll see more of, and like the arenas we'll get to see more of, and the way you can customize your character will be as we said, like the kind of important steps on the journey for the game. But I mean, at the minute, it's a solid multiplayer with simple mechanics that anyone can play, and it has a lot of potential to kind of, if they're willing to give it time, which I'm sure they are, to do well.
Right, I mean, it certainly sounds like something to keep our eye on. Like I say, if it can generate the same buzz as Rocket League, then I'm in for that. And some of the banter I've had more recently while playing Rocket League, I'm definitely up for some more of that.
There's so much of that like going on. Like especially when you're about to shoot and you essentially twat someone off the ball, and they just because the way you knock people over, they don't just fall; they like collapse in this heap. So
Right.
it's quite amusing. So there's a lot of bragging rights available.
Good. Well, that's a nice little preview we've done there of Roll of Champions. This is kind of a new approach that we're taking to kind of our preview content on God is a Geek. If it is something that you appreciate and you want to see more of, then give us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and leave a comment below if you've got any questions for Chris. If there's anything you want to see more in these previews, then just let us know. We're available on all social media platforms as well. So just look us up on Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram, and we'd love to speak to you. But that's it. So thanks for your time, Chris.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
And we'll speak to you all later.